everyone, it's Lexi, and today I will be sharing with you all the books I ended up reading in the month of May. This actually ended up being a very busy kind of month for me. I graduated from university with 2 degrees, a Bachelor's of Science in Biomedical Engineering and a Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology, and I've started my job. I work, it's going to be a summer job, but I work at a healthcare, a retirement community, and I kind of work with the residents. So that's been very fun. So I've been very busy. Yeah, so I only ended up reading 4 books this month, which I still think is pretty good, and considering the last few months I've been reading about 6 in my busy schedule, so I think this is pretty good. So to start out, the first book that I read this month was Stolen Songbird by Danielle L. Jenson, and this was a really good book. I was surprised. I saw a lot of reviews, but I didn't think I'd like it that much, but basically it's about a girl who gets kidnapped and she gets kind of trapped underneath a mountain with trolls, but the trolls are very different than what we typically see that we're kind of used to. Trolls are cunning and smart and all these things, so there's a lot of politics going on, and so I can't wait to start the next one in the series. It's a trilogy and it just was really good. It blew me out of the water. So if you're looking for a different kind of YA fantasy with a strong female protagonist, then I highly recommend that you check this out. It was really good. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. So continuing on with kind of the fantasy theme, I then read this mammoth of a book of A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and this is the second installment in kind of the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, and I had very mixed reviews about the first book in this series. I did not really like it that much. I had a lot of issues with it, so I was very hesitant to pick this up, but I was not disappointed. If you did not like this, the first book, I recommend that you still go through with this. This is typically, it was worth kind of the stroll, the horrible kind of first book, and there was so much character development and so much going on. All the issues that I had with the first book, they were kind of, I think they were purposely done for a reason. In particular, the abusive relationship between Tamlin and Farah. So if, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, it was phenomenal. So it was basically, the character that we were introduced to in the beginning of the series, we were told she was a strong woman, she supported her family so many years, and we didn't really see that in A Court of Thorns and Roses, but here we see tremendous character growth from so many characters. We get introduced to a lot of different side characters, and it was just a massive improvement. You can't even compare the 2 books. That's how far fetched they were. So I recommend, if you were hesitant about the first book in the series, that you do give this book a chance. It was just I don't even know, you can't, it's just unbelievable that they were part of the same series and these were the same characters, because so much happened. So this is typically more of what we kind of see with the Throne of Glass, strong heroine kind of feel, and there's a lot of Farah is suffering from PTSD, so it's also kind of has that woven into it. So if you're hesitant, I recommend that you check this out. I have a full review and discussion of this book, and I'll link it down below if you want to hear more about it. So next is a book called Alone by Lisa Gardner, and this is the first book in the Detective Dee Warren series that she has. And interesting enough, the character Dee, which is Dee Warren, which is what the kind of series is named after, only it has a very minor role. It's about a guy named Bobby who works with a special unit within the police department where he's a sniper, and he kind of witnesses this domestic abuse thing happening, so he makes the decision to shoot the husband who has a gun pointed at his wife. So basically what he finds out afterwards, there's this huge fallout afterwards, and the guy he shot is a very powerful judge's son. So there's all that. There's different politics, and there's kind of conspiracy that the wife set this up. So this was, I don't know, I think this was a pretty good kind of first installment. I feel it's, you have to, people basically say, I saw on Goodreads, that the series doesn't start till the 3rd one, but I still wanted to read kind of this first one, kind of get into it, but I could guess really early on what was going on. I guessed it super early, so I think that's probably why I didn't really enjoy it that much, and the characters aren't really that likable, I find, as well. So yeah, I gave this only 3 stars, but I will continue on with the series because I hear it gets better once you start reading the 3rd one, where Dee actually becomes the main character. So yeah. So this last one is one that I'm almost done right now, but I thought I'd include it in this one, and it is Flight of the Sparrow by Amy Belding Brown, and basically this is a historical fiction novel. It is based on a true person, but there's kind of some fiction kind of added to it. So basically it's about a girl named Mary Rawlinson who was part of like the Massachusetts Bay Colony during the 1600s, and she was she's from a very wealthy family, and she marries into this like priest who's very powerful, and they're like very I think they're purists, which is what they're called, so they're very religious. Women have like no power with their husband, like they're inferior and all this thing. So one day herself and then her 3 kids end up getting captured by Indians, and she kind of gets held at ransom. But while she's with the Indians, she kind of gets a different kind of experience, I guess you could say, because she gets more freedom of who she is and like what she can do with her life while she's there, because she gets kind of introduced to very different female characters like within the Indian tribe, and how they have more freedom and choice and can say what they want to say. So when she kind of the ransom is paid and she gets back to her husband, she kind of questions a lot of things with the religion and just kind of like what they're being preached, and she kind of questions all of this. So I really like that aspect of the book, because just kind of how women were treated, I think even in today's society in regards to religion, how she kind of questions that, and especially during the 1600s, like that was pretty big. I did have some hard times kind of getting kind of the biblical references because I'm not religious, so I didn't really get that, but it was really interesting to see. I think it's a very kind of phenomenal story. It is based on a true story, but I don't know how much. I haven't read the author note of how much was fiction and how much was fact. But other than that, it was still a really good book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good. So yeah, if you're looking for kind of like a based on a true story historical, then I highly recommend you check this out. The only thing is that there is like a lot, like I said, like a lot of religion stuff in it, and I didn't really necessarily kind of get those references, or I kind of had a hard time kind of reading that because I don't really enjoy that stuff. But other than that, like once she gets captured by the Indians, that's where the book kind of picks up, and I just really liked it. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books or if you have any suggestions. So yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.